Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing Ultra Limit, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think I was going to buy this one, to be quite honest, but it was Black Friday, and if you guys have seen, well, if you guys saw my, early on videos, since I've been kind of at this, the whole TCG, well, back at this, for like a year and a half, give or take. Oh, no, like almost 2 years now. When I say 2 years, no, I would say almost 2 years. Yeah, so almost 2 years, give or take. And Black Friday, I kind of like to go crazy, and yeah. So this year is no different. I didn't buy as much this year though. The sales weren't as good, to be quite honest. I just didn't really find anything that interesting or that much that I wanted. TCG player, obviously being one of the better ones, just giving you 10%. So pretty much how it works is, let's say, because obviously usually how it works when you're buying something in TCG player is you're looking at the price, right? And then you had to add, let's say, I think it's like 8.75%, right, for the tax. So realistically speaking, when they do the sale, which is they give you 10% credit on TCG player, you're pretty much not paying tax, right? So it's pretty nice. Pretty much the price you see is the price you're going to pay, right? So I think that's pretty neat. Obviously, I did take advantage of it. I did end up picking this one up, which is kind of crazy. I did try to shop around, but it still was the cheapest one I could find, which is usually not the case. But again, just because of the sale, I guess it makes sense, right? But yeah, I ended up picking up box. I only ended up picking up one. Honestly, I wasn't, like I said, Fusion World, just the art doesn't really attract me as much. I kind of prefer the super rares and the SPRs, or I think they're called SPRs as well, right? Yeah, the SPRs of what's it called, Masters. Now that I recently went back and checked them out, I kind of missed them. But you know what? For continuity's sake, I have opened I think every single Fusion World set at this point. So I kind of had to check it out, right? And I did see the cover, and it was Goku UI, so it is pretty cool. I do like Ultra Instinct Goku. I I am a fan. Obviously, we haven't really seen as much. Obviously, I haven't seen the manga, so I don't know if in the manga, I'm guessing they already expanded on it. They already explained the origin. They already probably explained the whole thing. He probably is already in another form at this point in the manga, or however they're continuing the story. But obviously in the super anime, we did only see it for pretty much like a couple episodes, right? Pretty much just towards the end, and he didn't even really. In the movie, he didn't even really learn how to do it, I guess you could say. He was like, "Oh, I can't do it." I was trying to recall what he said, and yeah, I think he just says like, "Oh, I can't do it." So, R.I.P. And obviously, from what I've seen, it's not something he can just do. But I'm guessing he'll train, and hey, it is a pretty cool thing, right? Obviously, just being able to seemingly, from what it seems, just being able to dodge, just like instinctively, right? It's pretty broken. At least, hey, that's how it works in Sparking Zero. You just dodge like a motherfucker. Which, speaking of, how are you guys feeling? If you guys have played Sparking Zero, personally, as a more single player game, I know that it's a fighting game. I know it's like Smash, right? Why the hell you expect Smash to be a solo player? But I don't know. I kind of like when fighting games have. Oh, sorry for the angle if it was bad, but hopefully it wasn't. I kind of like when fighting games have that. What the hell? Wait, I was gonna say, wait, why is there a shiny one in the spot of a rare? Well, that's completely new. Look, I got a super rare, and then I got a rare in the same pack. What the hell? I've never seen that. Usually, what happens is it'll replace the last one. I've never gotten 2 hits in one box, or in one pack, sorry. So we got our first hit. Unfortunately, oh, this is from Daima, right? Yeah, this is the new one. I actually haven't seen Daima, which I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about. How do you guys feel about, obviously, we already talked a little bit about Sparking Zero, obviously, the Tenkaichi sequel that I still don't know why they didn't call it Tenkaichi. I feel like that was such an easy cash-in, unlike, like the previous generation, all of us who have been waiting for so many years. If you called it that, I feel like it would have attracted a lot more attention. But I know that it still did numbers, so I feel like everyone kind of knew that it was spiritually a Tenkaichi game, so everyone was still pretty hyped about it, right? Obviously, it's a broken mess. Online, what the hell do you expect? And I kind of find it funny. A lot of people were clamoring for that early, like before the game came out. Which obviously, once you think about it, right? Like if you give everyone the option to use any character and you have this insane ones that are just by default better because that's how the game is, created with no balance. There are some characters that are just better. So obviously most people, guess what, are gonna use those. So I'm not surprised. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so annoyed that everyone's using Gogeta, everyone's using the fusions, everyone's using this broken strategy. And it's like, well, I mean, are you really surprised? Like, have you played any FPS? Have you played Call of Duty? Everyone runs meta guns. Everyone, like, it's just what it is at this point. I feel like everyone wants to be, optimized. Everyone wants to have the most optimal setting. Everyone wants to crush everyone. Everyone wants to pub stomp. Something that we call in Call of Duty pub stomping, which is pretty much you go on public lobbies and you pretty much try to shit on everyone, right? Like, you try as hard as possible, which obviously for some people it's fun, but in my opinion, I don't know, it kind of gets tiring. That's why personally Call of Duty, my personal favorite thing about it is zombies, right? Because it's the one thing I can just enjoy, kind of chill. So like I said, I'm more so of a single player slash story. I do like fighting games, like for example Mortal Kombat. I'm a really big fan just because it usually has a lot of single player content, right? So it's not that I hate fighting games. It's just usually I kind of prefer those single player experiences, right? But I am kind of curious how do you guys feel about it. Did it fulfill that need for the Tenkaichi, right? Or did it not live to expectations? I think it's pretty fair to say if it didn't. Obviously, if you're much more so of a single player, then hey, it might not have lived, right? For me personally, obviously, like I said, I do feel like it is a bit lackluster in the department. I do think that they kind of are putting all their emphasis on the online, right? Which obviously can be a bad or a good thing, depending on who you ask. It is a fighting game at the end of the day, right? Okay, I see something. You know what? Let's save it since it does seem like it's, you know what? Fucking, no, what do you mean save it? I'm not gonna troll you. Oh, shit. Dude, one box, and we actually managed to get a Seeker. Not only a Seeker, we actually managed to get a Altar Seeker. Holy shit. I actually haven't seen the prices on this one. Like I said, I only got one box, so I don't really care if I get shafted or not. It's not like I'm going for broke. I only have one box, right? So it is pretty cool. I mean, damn. Because from my experience, I did get a case of a Raging Roar because I managed to get it for pretty cheap. Well, I guess pretty cheap now, not really because the boxes dropped. But at release, I managed to get it for pretty cheap. And what I noticed was you actually get 8 Seeker Rares. And that's irregardless of rarity, right? So for example, you're probably confused. Like, what the hell do you mean? You obviously said Seekers. So what I mean is you can get alt darts and those will still count towards the 8. Usually that's not how it works in most games. Alt darts are kind of another slot, right? But in this game, it actually appears that they do. So you'll always get, from what I've seen as well, I kind of checked out some videos online, just some Reddit posts, kind of asked around on Facebook groups. And that's kind of the experience most people are getting. You're going to get 8 of the, so pretty much 4 of each, right? You're going to get a playset of each. So it is pretty cool in that aspect. But usually you're only going to get 2 Seeker altars from what I've seen. So it is pretty cool. One box and we ended up getting one of them. So obviously it seems once you usually get, I think, one of those hits, the Seeker altar, you don't get the other per case hits, quote unquote, which would be what, the leaders or the, I think that's pretty much it, right? Oh, the leaders or the reprints. I don't know if they still have the reprints, but in Raging Roar they had these like reprints, which you kind of didn't want. Most of them were kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. There was only one that was pretty good, which was like the Broly one. Or Chile, sorry, it was Chile. Broly was in the art though, but it was Chile. So that's the one you were going for, but all the other ones weren't that good, so you kind of just prefer to see the leaders, right? So I don't know if it's a good one, I don't know if it's a bad one. Obviously a leader probably would have been a lot cooler, but you know what? I'll take it. It is a character I like. Obviously, it is only one box, so I can't hope for the, like, oh, I've got to get a God Rare. It's, anyway, just going for fun, right? I'm very happy about Vegeta. I'm kind of wondering if the other one is, Ultra-Instinct Goku? He is the box mascot, so. Well, I mean, realistically speaking, though, Raging Roar, well, no, it is. In Raging Roar, Super Saiyan 4 is the box mascot, and he's the Seeker. And then in Blazing, it was Super Saiyan God Goku, and from what I remember, he was not the Seeker. Okay, so it might not be actually dependent on that. Okay. Whoa, holy shit, we got another one. This one's not only, dude, we didn't only get a Secret Rare, Altar. We actually got a 3-hit box. Show me. Holy shit. Okay, very, very nice. So this is early on, right? Yeah, in the series. Very, very cool. Look at that. 3 hits in 1 box. Let's fucking go. We're absolutely cooking on this one. So that's another thing that can happen as well from what I've noticed. I didn't count exactly how many, but every case you actually have a chance of some boxes having 3 hits. This is something that also happens in One Piece. So it's not totally unprecedented. I'm pretty sure they took it from, what's it called, from One Piece. Just because of how well received that game's been, right? If you see the boxes, they usually, they can usually go kind of crazy. Lately, thankfully though, it definitely seems as it's been stabilized. So it's not as hard to find, but hey, there's still a lot of hype behind it, which I think is pretty cool, right? That even if the prices aren't that insane, a lot of people are still, writing for it. Majin Buu Evil. Speaking of, I am getting, well, I'm supposed to get my premium boxes, but unfortunately, I got hit with that allocations email. What the hell are you gonna do? I did get to keep my place in the queue. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that means I'm not gonna get it, but hey, I did get a refund. I thought it was pretty cool of them. They offered to let me keep my place in the queue and offered me a refund at the same time, right? So that's why I'm kind of thinking that, that I'm not going to get them, because realistically speaking, they don't really have any incentive at this point. But I'm going to remain hopeful. Worst comes to worst, I'll just buy 1, maybe 2 boxes so we can do it on the channel, maybe at least 1 box and then 1 for my collection, right? So we'll see. Stay tuned though. I do have my pre-orders locked in for OPO 9 though. So if you're interested, which probably will be the most hype set, because it is the 2nd anniversary, well, at least this year, right? I still think OPO 5 was probably the most hype set, just because of Luffy, and it has the signature ones, and it had this insane shit. What the? Oh shit, look. We got another little star. Wait, so in that case, so does that mean, okay, so in this case, that means these don't count towards the altar. So we can technically, wait a second, we can technically still get a 3rd hit. We could technically get a 3rd altar, since those don't seem to count, because obviously you don't get 4. I'm sorry, you're not going to get 4 altars in 1 box. I'm telling you right now. So that's pretty cool. It seems they actually took this from the newest Digimon sets. The Liberator is the one I noticed did this. And they would actually give you 2 foils of random. I don't know if random cards. I'm pretty sure there was like a pool. I'm pretty sure it wasn't every single card that was foil, but there were specific cards that had a foil version. But in Digimon, in my opinion, it was a little cooler because they colored the entire what's it called, like the entire background of the card, like this white thing. Imagine like this white thing, right? But it was the color of the foil. So if it was a red card, it would be a red foil. I thought that was pretty cool. But hey, this is pretty cool though. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. I definitely think that's a little nice incentive to, hey, open some boxes, right? I think that's pretty cool. I always support those kind of moves. I know that, for example, right now, it's, I guess something that we kind of have to talk about. I didn't upload my first video for Raging Roar because it essentially turned into a whole conversation about this, but I kind of want to make a separate video on it, so I most likely won't touch too much on this, but just kind of want to discuss it because I think it is pretty important, and it would kind of be like sticking my head in the sand, right? Like if I don't acknowledge it and don't talk about it, the whole prices thing. I mean, Fusion World is kind of struggling. Obviously, it's not great. Stores are obviously essentially getting cooked, right? Obviously, I did manage, like I said, to get this box at $51. I mean, you can only imagine, and that's after they pay, they have to take fees after that. So they take 13% plus shipping. It was free shipping, of course. So it was 13%. So let's say like $6, and then plus the shipping, let's say like another $7-8, right? So imagine that they're making 35, something like that, $35. That's way less than distribution. It's not great. It's kind of concerning, but in my opinion, it's just something that Fusion World is, as a concept, I feel like it's kind of hard to sell to a lot of people, because I feel like, for example, the people who are really into Dragon Ball, most likely, if they like card games, guess what? They already know about Masters, right? They've probably been playing Masters. They've probably been engaging with Masters a lot more because it's been out for so many years. they've had that opportunity. A lot of collectors already got invested into Masters, their collections, their sealed product, whatever the hell they're collecting. A lot of players already have a bunch of decks. It was a hard sell to ask that community to fragment itself, right, even further, and tell them, hey, buy this entire, essentially the same game, but more simple. So you already lost all those people, because guess what? Those people are gonna say no, because those people like the game, because they like the complexities of the game. So they're not gonna want to play a simplified version, kind of like when Yu-Gi-Oh did the whole what's it called, the rush, oh no, not rush duel, the speed duels. It was like a simplified version. It was like essentially Duel Links. If you never played Duel Links, it's essentially Duel Links, and it didn't do too good. It unfortunately got discontinued eventually, and that just goes to show, right? Like, if a company as big as Yu-Gi-Oh, which in my opinion is one of the games with the more players, obviously one of the big three, Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, one of the oldest ones, they have such history. They have so many people, so much more people with nostalgia for that simple gameplay, and even they couldn't manage it. I do see that struggle initially onboarding players, that you're essentially gonna lose out on a lot of Dragon Ball fans already, who are already into the previous card game, who are already collecting the previous cards, and essentially are trying to introduce that new player base to a much simpler version. Which, what could happen as well, in my opinion, is if someone likes it, if someone, let's say I'm playing this game, right, and I'm starting to get really into it, I'm starting to get more and more competitive, and as I'm starting to learn more and more, nice, we actually got Vegeta Daima. I actually appreciate that. We're getting all the Daima characters. As I'm getting better and better, wouldn't I want to play the more complex one? And at that point, why would I buy your next product? Why would I buy set 5? Why would I buy set 6? I would buy Masters set 20, whatever, right? So in my opinion, that's one of the issues I had with Fusion World, that it's a really hard concept to sell. For me, it's an easier pill to swallow, because guess what? I'm going mainly for art. I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I'll go for either, right? I'll switch in between them. I'll go for either of them, whatever. I don't really care as much. I have fun opening Dragon Ball boxes, regardless, right? But realistically speaking, I just feel like I don't know, I feel like you're losing so much of your audience, right? And you're gonna have that issue because you didn't distinguish yourself enough. I feel like they really should have just made a different game. I know that might be controversial, but I just feel like this just kind of hurts both games, right? It kind of shakes up the confidence of Masters players. I think maybe not so much now, because obviously Masters is doing relatively well right now. I mean, compared at least to Fusion World, right? Relatively speaking, again, to the prices, if you want to call it that. But I just feel like if you did a different game, at least those players who are into Masters, sure, some of them still wouldn't have wanted to play another Dragon Ball game. Let's face it. I mean, some people only have a budget for one game, and that's how it is, right? Sometimes things get expensive, especially in this economy. But if it was a different game, a lot more people, I feel like, would be more willing to try it, because they're like, well, yeah, I'm playing Masters, but I can also play this new variation of this new game, right? Versus, hey, I'm already playing Masters. Why the hell would I want to play a simpler version of Masters when I'm already enjoying Masters? I feel like this one has a really limited target potential, which is essentially Dragon Ball fans who are new players, who don't want to obviously learn the entire complexity, which is fair enough, obviously. But at that point, it's one of those questions like, wouldn't you just do a different format, right? But again, I don't know. We'll do a different discussion on this. I did end up talking about it a lot more than I wanted to, but you know what? It's a pretty relevant topic. Obviously, it's a pretty big deal right now. I see a lot of people talking about it in like Facebook groups. A lot of shops, obviously, not too happy about it. A lot of shops saying they're dropping it and stuff like that. So, pretty big deal, right? But hey, anyways, let's actually close it off. We've gotten a lot of Daima. Speaking of, what the hell? How many Daima characters have I gotten? 1, 2. I actually have only seen the first episode of Daima, and I will say I definitely have some issues with it, but I don't know. I feel like if you don't take it too seriously, if you kind of look at it like a Dragon Ball, kind of like GT, like original Dragon Ball, more like adventures, more like meeting different people and going around there's different places, and nothing as serious as Dragon Ball Z. I mean, holy shit, this is world ending. It's not like, well, at least the first episode, right? I don't know entirely how it develops. Maybe it does develop in a more traditional sense, but from what I've seen, Obviously, a lot of people aren't happy. I'm seeing a lot of hate for it. I think you just have to go kind of into it with different expectations. Don't expect it to be essentially the continuation of Super, because it's not. It absolutely is not. This is definitely something a little more goofy, something a little more just to have fun, right? So I don't know. I enjoyed the first episode. Obviously, it stands to see if I will enjoy the entirety of the season. Obviously, I don't know how I feel about the whole kid thing again. I feel like they already did that in GT, so I kind of obviously I get it. I get why they did it. They didn't want to deal with a lot of the power scaling issues, I'm guessing, but I don't know. Obviously, it is kind of weird seeing it again. A lot of people, that's one of the things they hated about GT. I personally thought that was I didn't hate it in GT, but seeing it again is kind of funny, right? But I don't know. I kind of have obviously mixed feelings about it. I'm not the biggest fan of the art style, but I'm not gonna lie. I did have fun with the episode. I did enjoy like the scene, the animations. I thought it was pretty good, especially for what, like I said, for what I thought it was, like the visual. Generally, that's not kind of the style of anime that I like, but hey, I thought the animation itself was pretty good, right? I really like obviously the characters. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball, so obviously I'm gonna love Vegeta. I'm obviously gonna love Goku. I'm obviously gonna love all these characters. But regardless, I'm kind of curious how you feel about Daima. Kind of curious, are you liking it? Are you giving it a chance even? Because I'm guessing some people might not even give it a chance, especially people who hated GT, right? Like if you despise GT with every being of your soul, I don't see why you would see Daima, right? So we'll have to see, but hey, regardless, let's actually finish this up. And yeah, it was a 2-hit box actually. So wow, we actually ended up getting, well, I'm not gonna say unlucky because we did get a Seeker all third. Which again, I think in a case though, how it works, yeah, because you have 4 leaders. I think you're guaranteed, or 4 leaders, I wish, what the hell? No, you're guaranteed, I think 2 leaders, 2 to 3 leaders, then 2 to 3 reprints. So essentially you're gonna get 4. And usually how it's going to go, it's going to be 2 leaders and 2 reprints. So that's how it's going to work. But you can get more or less than 1 of each, right? So essentially, sometimes you're going to get 3 reprints. Sometimes you're going to get 3 leaders instead, right? But point is, you're going to get 4 total of those 2 combined, reprints and leaders. And then the other 8 boxes in the case are going to contain each seekers, 1 seeker each. And then 2 of those usually are going to be all thirds. So, hey, we did get pretty lucky. Obviously, we didn't hit the leader boxes. We didn't get super lucky, but still nonetheless we did get luckier at least than getting a regular seeker box, right? So I'm still pretty happy about it. And again, for just 1 box, hey, I ain't complaining. But I'm kind of curious, did you guys open any? How are you guys feeling about Fusion World? How are you guys feeling about, we did talk about the future of Fusion World. Obviously, sorry about that. I didn't really mean to to divulge and divert this entire video into a discussion on that, but it is something that obviously I am seeing a lot of people talk about. I think it's a pretty relevant discussion. It is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool to talk about these things. I'm pretty interested in things like this in general, like like the long term of a TCG, the potential, the issues, all that kind of stuff. I'm always pretty interested in. So if you guys are interested in a follow-up video on that, I'm more so just dedicated video on that topic, a discussion video. I haven't done one in a minute. So if you guys are interested, hey, let me know. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you. Oh, wait. Let me draw my top 5 really quick before I let you go. And hey, I'll let you go. But yeah, no, definitely let me know how you feel about Daima. Let me know how you feel about Sparking Zero as well. I'm kind of curious about that. Obviously, they did have that drama with the regional. They did like a tournament. And yeah, let's just say they kind of got clowned on because of the game's mechanics. Again, that's the thing though. You design a game to be broken. Why would you run a tournament? I don't know. Point being, I think it's kind of funny, but you know what? We move on. Again, if you play it casually, I think it's fine. I just think once you start taking it more seriously, it's when you start running into those kind of issues, right? Okay, let's go. I guess I'll just put you at 5. Okay, let's do this, and we'll give you a shout out. Give you 2 a shout out, actually. All right. So number 1. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's going to be our biggest hit of the box, Vegito. It's obviously Super Saiyan 1 Vegito. So this is the Majin Buu Saga Vegito. I think he becomes blue versus Samasu, right? The first time. Yeah. Well, hey, very nice. Look at that. I like how the foil It's like all over his body. It's not like just one area. It's like his leg, his arms, his legs, his head. His head? What the hell? Why is his hair, dude? His hair. Saiyan's hair is so powerful that it emits fucking energy. That's how crazy it is. That's how they maintain it, that form, I swear. Then we have Goku Daima. I kind of have to celebrate Daima. It's the newest thing. I know it's not for everyone. I know not a lot of people like it. I personally have some problems with it, at least so far. Again, I'm kind of waiting for some more episodes to come out. I hate the whole wait. I know it's good for the anime. I know the whole weekly discussion thing is good and it creates hype and stuff. But my goodness, I hate it. I hate waiting like every single week. Like, oh man, 20, 30 minutes of glory and then I had to wait a whole week. But I get it. Obviously, it's just something that I'm willing to wait, right? Obviously, I know that some people watch it weekly and I think that's great. But me personally, I kind of just like watching, right? But again, that's just an argument for how you like to consume your media. Let's not get into it. But anyways, yeah, we have to celebrate Daima, the newest series, and there you go. We have the protagonist one of the protagonists, of course. Then we have our second author is Goku. I'm pretty sure this is from I want to say this is from the Saiyan saga, right? Yeah, because Saiyan or Frieza saga. I'm gonna say Saiyan though. Let me know if you know exactly where it's from, but I'm gonna say Saiyan saga. So just something tells me he's from the Saiyan saga. And then we have King Goma, obviously the new villain in Daima. Obviously one of the goofy villains, obviously taking more so after Super. In Super, we had so many goofy-ass villains in, what's it called, in the Tournament of Power. We had the what's it called, the Sailor. We literally had a Sailor Moon universe. I mean, what the fuck? So yeah, we're definitely a bit more goofy. And again, Daima makes sense, right? They're leaning more into that, it seems. Then we have number 5. We have to give a shout out to Frieza and Goku. Obviously, the final moment of Super, so a pretty cool moment. Obviously, them working together, something. If you told me that like 20 years ago, I'd probably flip out. But obviously, pretty cool moment, right? Then we have to give it a shout out, and then we have to give a shout out to these two more Daima characters. And first of all, I kind of have to give a shout out to this one again. Another one of these golden. We did give a shout out to this one as well, but you know what? To our second one as well, and then Vegeta, since you know what, they're married, we're counting them as one. So you know what, we're breaking our rules. There you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you for more Dragon Ball. Hopefully I'll see you for, if you're into Fusion World, let me know. If you're into Masters, let me know. Let me know which one if you into either, which one you're more so into, art wise, playing wise, all that good shit. Let me know, and hey, hopefully I'll see you for the next video.